Okay, guys, tonight is the night. The webinar tonight, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 8 p.m. over on the East Coast. Figure out your time zone. I don't know. This is going to be exciting. I'm going to be presenting some information that has never been presented before. Folks are excited about this all over the world. I can guarantee you this. I'm going to show you something and do something for you that no other coach is ever going to do. Heck, I'm already doing some things for you that no coach is ever going to do. So look, make sure if you're already registered, you're good. If you're getting this email, you're probably already registered. If you're not, there's a link right in the email or in the description of this video. And I also have for you a cheat sheet for you to print out and download. Take notes on the webinar tonight, because I guarantee you this is going to change your voiceover career forever. Take a listen to why some other folks are going to be on the webinar tonight.
Hello everybody, this is Yaeli Tanaka. I am looking forward to Earl Hall's Voiceover Domination webinar on Tuesday evening at 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. I'll be there with bells on. I can't wait for the seminar. I'm very, very excited about it and about his entire program of grind and
Hi,
don't
Steve
quit.
Mac here from Steve Mac Media in Melbourne, Australia. I just wanted to talk to you really quickly about Earl Hall's webinar coming up on Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. It's Voiceover Domination, and it's the webinar that you need to see, because if you're a voiceover person wanting to get your marketing plan together, wanting to understand production, wanting to understand all of the bits and pieces, all of the intricacies that you need to know to run a reasonable voiceover business, then Earl's your guy, and he's got all the info. You need to check out this webinar coming up 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and that's Tuesday night. Don't miss it. Grind and don't quit is Earl's motto. It's fantastic. I'm very excited to be there.
Hey everyone, look, I am more than super excited about what's happening. Today is the day, right? You guys just saw the video. I don't even know what I'm running on. I'm running on about pure adrenaline right now. I'm sick. You can probably hear I'm nasally. I've got my tea, trying to sip that. I'm sniffling, I'm coughing, the whole 9 yards, but the show must go on, as they say, right? You've got to do what you got to do. And like I said, I'm running on pure adrenaline right now, because this webinar tonight is going to be, it's going to be off the chain, and you guys are going to be a big part of making it off the chain. What's up, love? What's up, Shelly? What's up, Sam? What's up, Matthew? Scott over on YouTube. Scott's got some questions, I see. Or is it Matthew? Wait a minute, let me go back here. Yeah, Matthew, how much, wonder how much dollar investment is needed? Well, that's a wonderful question to ask, and be on the webinar, and I'm sure you're going to be surprised. That is one thing I can say. You're going to be surprised when that happens. What's up, Tatum? Glad to see you in the house as well. Over on Facebook, we've got folks tuning in over there as well with that. I'm trying to get my voice, I'm trying to keep my voice, I should say. But you guys know I get hype, I get loud, you know, all that kind of stuff is in there. Look, if you want to call in, live call-in numbers right at the bottom of your screen. Go ahead and call in right now. Get in the call queue. I'm going to be taking questions. This show today, your voiceover career is waiting for you to say yes. I should have put you in all caps, quite honestly, for this particular episode, because it is waiting on you. I have gone through so much in the past 2 years, in particular in the last couple of months, in developing my voiceover career, jumping into the coaching space, and every step of the way, some smart ass has had something to say. And I'm sorry to put it that bluntly, but I've got to be just that blunt, and it's for a reason. Someone is going to be out there that's going to be a naysayer about what it is that you want to do. We talked about this last week for a little bit as well. It could be your mom. It could be your wife. It could be your pals. It could be whatever. Let me just tell you this. Your circle when you start growing, when you start personally growing, when you start personally trying to do better than where you are right now, you will really know who your friends are. And what'll happen is you'll also discover who the haters are. Let it happen. And let it be like water off a duck's back and just roll off. We've got a caller on the line. I'm going to go ahead and take the call now. 3936 is the last four in your number. Is this Love on the line?
My real name is Sierra.
Sierra. Okay, glad to meet you. What can I help you with? Thanks for calling In the Booth with Earl Hall today.
I'm just listening today. This morning was rough, but I'm feeling better, so I'm happy I'm feeling better in time to hear.
I'm glad you're feeling better as well. I am so glad. Was that you that said you were calling in as soon as the show starts?
Yeah.
Oh, it was. Did you have a question or you just wanted to say hey?
I just want to say hi.
Thank you so much. No, I sincerely appreciate that. You taking the time out just to say hey means the world to me. I can't even tell you. Having you in on the show, knowing that you're taking your time out to do this means a lot to me. You don't have to be here, but you are. So I sincerely thank you for that. And I hope things get a whole lot better for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You have a good one now. You take care.
You too.
Bye-bye. All right. That was so sweet. That was just so sweet. And all of us need some sort of encouragement. And there's a friend of mine, Cyrus Webb. Actually, some of you may have heard of him. He's a big-time celebrity interviewer. His name is Cyrus Webb. You should check him out at cyruswebb.com, by the way. We talk a lot about the work and doing the work that's involved with growing what it is that you want to grow, which is your business. This is not, for me anyway, I can't speak for everyone actually involved. This is not a hobby for me. This is what I do. And this is what I love to do. And you're going to have those people that come into your life that try and knock you off your horse, try and knock you off your game. And that's why I'm saying you've got to, believe me, your circle will get smaller once you start rising above where you are. There's this funny thing about human nature. Well, I shouldn't say human nature. There's some humans out there that have the nature of not wanting to see anyone do any better than what they're doing. It's real unfortunate when it's in your own family. It's real unfortunate when your own family doesn't have your back. I thank God every day that I have the family that I have from my mother, my father, my wife, my kids, my immediate circle right there in family that love me and support me for what it is that I do. But I fully realize everybody does not have that. And when you don't have that, it can make things a little bit harder. But this is your life. You've got to live it the way that you want to live it. Timothy, good morning. Thank you for being in here. Barbara Davis, good morning, folks. Lenny Harrison, thank you. Nick Denton, my boy, is in the house. Joseph Leonard, registered for the webinar. Awesome and amazing. Thanks so much. Tonight, look, it's like, I know what I'm going to say. I've got a little PowerPoint, presentation. Excuse me, I got to go get some cough medicine at some point today as well. I've been here since 8:30 this morning, and I will be here until the time the webinar starts, which will be 7 p.m. Central, and I will be here through the webinar, and I'm sure after the webinar is over, there's going to be Q&A. I'll be taking your questions on the webinar as well to answer whatever questions you may have about what's been presented to you. There are those times where you've got to get out of your own way. You've got to get out of your own way. There's this voice that we all have that runs in our head that's negative. And everybody has it, I believe. And it takes some practice to get through it and get over it. That voice in your head tells you things sometimes that no one else has ever said bad about you. But this voice all of a sudden tells you these bad things about yourself and tries to bring you down below where you ought to be. You can't do that. You're a minority. You're a woman. You're mentally challenged. You're physically disabled. You're poor. You're uneducated. All of those things. And then you start building, and you allow that voice to continue to build and build and build, and you start believing it. But there came a day for me. There came a day for me where, for whatever reason, I had to say, no more. No more. It came after a time where I was ready to give up. I was ready to quit. I was ready to not do anything anymore except have, a regular job. Now, there's nothing wrong with having a regular job. As a matter of fact, when people ask me certain questions about, well, how do you know when to quit your job? And it's so funny. I say, well, you quit your job when you're making enough money, doing the thing you want to do. That's when you quit your job. That's not rocket science. That's when you do it. But people hate their jobs. Let me tell you how I had to flip the script on the whole job thing when I was working. You've got to look at your job as your number one investor. That 9 to 5 or whatever it is that you work, that is your number one investor in your business. It's the thing that helps you purchase your mics. It's the thing that helps you purchase your computer, your laptop, your DAW, your interfaces, all the gear. It's the thing that helps you buy coaching services, buy demos, whatever. Don't disparage your job, because it is the thing that will get you to the next level. Start thinking about it in that perspective. I listen to so many people, I hate my job. I can't stand my job. I just want to do voiceover or whatever. I want to do this full time. I don't want to do it. And people say that, but their actions don't back up the words. This is where my whole mentality of grind and don't quit come in. Many of you have seen have seen my YouTube video where I do this full reveal. And this was when I was working, and when I was trying to, basically hustle my way through and get to a certain level where I've gotten. You may have heard my story. Let me tell you a little bit of it. This is my schedule for 2 years. And I'm not even, this is not hype. This is what I did for 2 years, because I said, I want to do this thing called voiceover. I want to build a business. So what I did was this. I used to work at, I used to drive a bus. And driving a bus in Milwaukee is crazy. You've got it is crazy. You meet some crazy folks, but it's a crazy schedule. It's not a 9 to 5. You could come into work one day at 6 a.m. You have, you work up until 10. You have a break from till about 3. You come back at 3. You work until 9 o'clock at night. Your whole day's shot. I made close to 6 figures driving a bus. And it's really easy to do in Milwaukee. And at the time I'd made the decision that I wanted to do voiceover full time, I had the conversation with my wife. And I said, I got to do this. I want to take a different job. I took a pay cut of about $40,000 a year, dropped it. And it put us in kind of a bind, but we were able to handle it because I wanted to do this. So I took a job that allowed me to work from 7 at night till 3:30 in the morning. Straight 8 hours, still within the bus company. I just happened to be working in the garage. And so I go into work at 7, get off of work at 3:30 in the morning. Off at 3:30 in the morning, right? I'm up again at 7 a.m. So I've had about 3-4 hours of sleep, maybe 3.5 hours of sleep. Up at 7 because I have to take my kids to school. Get my kids to school. At the time when I was in my home studio, back at home by 8:30. Worked all day doing voiceover, the marketing aspect, laying down the voice, all that other kind of stuff. leave to go pick up the kids at about 2:30, pick them up, come home. I'm at home at 4 o'clock, jump in the bed, wake up at 6 so I can be to work at 7. Did you hear all that? I did this for 2 years because I wanted it. Because the grind and don't quit mentality came from that mentality. And I operated like this for 2 years. 2 whole years. Because I was committed to doing what I said I wanted to do. And I'd made a promise to my wife that hell or high water, this is going to happen. Didn't know how, but I knew that's what I wanted. And so every day, some of the things I still do every day, I'm watching and learning. I'm taking courses. I'm, listening to this person on YouTube and following this person and learning all the things I had to do. I had to learn how to do this stuff on YouTube. You do realize that, right? I didn't just know. I had to learn. Like I use, people ask a lot, what software do you use to broadcast? I use OBS Studio. I had to learn that. Excuse me. I had to learn my DAW. I had to learn audio processing, which was a big thing. It didn't just happen overnight. Hey, what's up, Marilyn? Glad to see you in the house on YouTube here. I'm doing this because I made a commitment to myself. It wasn't a commitment that I made to my wife and my family, even though I did make that commitment. The commitment I made was to me more than to anyone else, because I've got to live in this skin. And I understood that my life was waiting for me to say yes. And the other thing that I realized about this whole thing is that wherever you are in your career right now, wherever you are in your life, wherever you are in your relationships, and I need you to own this, wherever it is that you are, you designed it that way. Through your thoughts, through your decisions, and through your actions. We write the script of our lives every day. Every day. You write the script of your life every day. You can make the life that you want if you want to change it by changing your thoughts, your decisions, and your actions. And when those 3 things start aligning with your goals, and everything that you do, from your thoughts to your decisions, all that stuff, if they map correctly to the goal that you have, that's how you design your life. It takes a heck of a lot of sacrifice. How many school events have I missed over the past 2 years? Most of them. How much time have I lost, and that I'll never get back? A lot. But it comes down to the decision of you either saying yes to this thing or playing with this thing. Excuse me. When you are ready to say yes to your voiceover career, you will do what it takes in order for you to accomplish that goal. Live call-in number is right at the bottom of your screen. Would love to take your calls. Let's see. We've got a caller on the line. Caller, last 4 numbers in your phone are 3936. You're live on the air.
Hello.
Hello.
I like how your messages are universal.
Thank you.
It's like changing the way you think to changing your actions so that your actions represent what you're thinking. It's true and powerful. Do you maybe have examples about how we can go about doing that? Because I do affirmations in the morning to make sure I'm staying positive and thinking about the right things. But do you have any other ideas?
To be specific about it, when, and I hear people talking about affirmations, and maybe I don't necessarily, because I don't do affirmations. It's my why. I've talked before. I haven't talked recently, but I've talked before about my why I do what it is that I do. And what my why is, that boils down to, is that your actions speak louder than your words. And so a lot of people will do affirmations, which there's nothing wrong with it. A lot of people will do meditation. I meditate from time to time. I pray from time to time. But the things that I do outweigh more than what I think and what I say. That has to transfer between your personal life, your business life. My why is who I am. And I believe that my actions speak way louder than my words, and they ought to. For my clients, for you, for the people that sign up at stepstovoiceoversuccess.com that take my course, everything that I say, and I'm hoping that I don't have a student that wouldn't agree with me when I say this. Whatever it is that you've signed up for, I go above and beyond what I say I'll do. I go above and beyond because my actions have to outweigh that. So you can write your affirmations down if that helps, but the action or the execution of it is where the rubber meets the road. And that's where so many people fall off. They'll do it for a while. They'll say an affirmation. Oh, I don't want to procrastinate. So they'll have they'll write something down, today, don't procrastinate. Well, if you procrastinate that day, then something went wrong. So what has to translate is the words that you use have to line up with your actions. Or should I say your actions have to line up with your words and your thoughts. And your actions are way more important than your words. Way more. It's in the doing. It's in the grind and don't quit is where it makes the difference. And if you're trying to start a voiceover career, whatever it is that you want to do, it's in the actions. It's not in the courses. It's not in the information that you get. It's in the execution of all of that. Because until you execute, it means nothing. And that's where everyone fails. If they fail, it's because of the lack of execution. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thanks so much. I appreciate you giving a call in.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, everyone, live call-in number is right at the bottom of your screen. If you want to call in, you can definitely go ahead and do that. And press number 1, and you will be in my call queue. And I will take your call. 657-383-1494. Press 1 to go ahead and get into the call queue, and I will see you there, and I will take your call. And jot down something here. And hop back over. I'm doing this day, and here again, I could be in the bed. I didn't sleep in about maybe 2 hours last night because I'm coughing, I'm sneezing, all this kind of stuff, and the adrenaline too that I've still got pumping through my veins right now, getting ready for this webinar that's got to go on. My wife is like pumping me up. She's like, "Honey, you can do it. You got this. You can do it." She is in my corner 100%. It's unusual sometimes because she'll switch modes on me. Sometimes, Earl, you need to lay down. You need to go to sleep. You need to shut up and go to sleep, Earl. And then there's other times, get up and go. You need to do this. You said this is what you want to do. You need to go do it. So this morning, both of us were on the same page. It's like, I gotta go. I gotta do this. She sent me a nice little text message when she knew I was on my way into the office. Actually, wait a minute. Let me see if I can show you the text message. I'll just show you. It's like, I love my wife absolutely to death here. It's funny. If you're listening to this after the fact on the audio version, which, by the way, you can hear on iTunes all the time. Anyway, this is what my wife sent to me this morning. You got this. So it's like, she says, love you lots. Hold on a minute. For those of you that don't know, this is my family. This is my my daughter, my son, my daughter, and my wife on the other side there. This is why I wake up every morning. This is why I do what I do. I love these guys. They're my heart. They're my heart and soul. And I'm sure there are people in your life that have helped you and that have encouraged you. And I just feel amazingly blessed to be doing what it is that I really want to do. Let's see, Shelley saying, my life was waiting to say yes. Such a profound statement. Thank you. Marilyn, let's see. Nicole, all right, she's saying hi to Marilyn. You guys are talking in the chat. All right, cool. Loving the interaction going on over there. If you guys want to call in, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and take this next call. Caller, the last 4 numbers in your number is 7296. You are live on In the Booth with Earl Hall. Who do I have on air with me?
Hello.
Hi.
Earl, this is Tatum. Hi.
Tatum, hey, how you doing? How you doing?
I'm great, Earl. I'm great. I see you're a little bit under the weather. I hope you get better, especially before the night.
Yeah, it's going down. You know, it's going down anyway. You know, I'm going to take a couple meds. I was telling my wife I can't take too many. I don't want to get sleepy. I'm not going to take NyQuil. But after the webinar is over, you know, when I get home, maybe about 10, 11 o'clock tonight, I'm going to probably down half the bottle of NyQuil and just knock the heck out for a couple hours.
Well, that'll be good. You need to get better because we need you.
Well, thank you. Thank you. How can I help you today, Tatum? Thanks so much for calling in.
Absolutely. Well, the question that I have is, I know it doesn't mean anything unless you actually execute. You know, you have to get in, you have to dig into it. But what would be your top steps for someone that's new into voiceover? You know, where to start. I mean, of course, there's a barrage of information, you know, online, the YouTube videos, your site steps to voiceover success. But, you know, just to put it simply, what would be the top steps for someone just to get in and to do this thing?
Sure. Let me address something you said before that, though, just talking about the different, you know, all the information that's out there online. Get it all. Get it all. Let yourself be inundated. Let yourself be inundated. I'm completely serious when I say that. I don't care who you listen to. I don't care what coach you listen to. It does not matter. Because what's funny is none of us agree on everything that's out there to do. None of us agree on everything. And some of us can be violently disagreeable, believe it or not. I've seen some comments. It's like, oh my gosh, he actually said that. But the thing is, in all that, what maybe sound like confusion, in all of that, you've got to add your own clarity to it. There's going to be something that you're going to hear from a lot of people, and something that someone says is going to resonate with you. I don't know if you read the Bible or if you're spiritual or anything like that, but
I do.
There's this one scripture that says, in the multitude of counselors, there's wisdom. And I looked at that, and this is just recently. I looked at that, and I was like, you know what? Obviously, I believe it's true. But you've got to bring your wisdom to the advice that you're getting. There is wisdom in the multitude of counselors, but you've got to pick apart what fits you. So you can listen to 12 different coaches in the voiceover arena, and you're going to grab a nugget. Because like I said, all of us have different perspectives, but something is going to speak to you. Something is. Then what will happen is you will gravitate to a few or just one, because you're getting what we might call fed, if I can say it that way. But all of the information that's out there, I don't necessarily think there's any bad information. We all come from different perspectives, but you are the only you that's out there. And you and your path is going to be different from mine. I can give you some steps. I can give you how I did it. But one of the things that I want to open people up to, especially when I coach them, you got to find what fits you. Just because one person hates Fiverr doesn't mean Fiverr won't work for you. Just because one person wants to be in the union doesn't mean that the union is going to work for you, or it may. But we come from these different perspectives based on how we made it. But it doesn't mean that's how you're going to make it. So listen to all the advice that's out there and then start letting it fit you. Now, to answer your question specifically, and you're talking about the steps. Step 1, you need to get a microphone. Step 2, you need to have a DAW and start learning it. It's not about, if you're starting on day 1, you have no clue how to do voiceover. So what you do is you start learning it by watching these videos on YouTube. There's some great guys and gals out there that are teaching Some very, very great techniques, because beyond the fact that you might have a great voice or that you know how to, do a voiceover, you probably don't know how to use a DAW very well. So you have to understand and know what your shortcomings may be as far as what you need to do.
Okay.
So the first thing, just get a mic, start playing. Download Audacity, which is free software. Start learning how to process your voice. Sign up to one of the freelance sites that are out there, put up a profile, and see if you can get some work. It's the starting that everyone, it's one of the hardest things is to start, because it's an overwhelm. It's like Nike says, just do it. Just do it. Are you going to mess up? Yep, you are. You're going to make mistakes? Oh, heck yeah. You're going to make them. But it's all a learning process in the beginning. Don't be scared to start. Just start. It comes a point where all the information that you're getting becomes an excuse not to do. Oh, well, I need to get a little bit better at this, or I need to go learn this a little bit more. No, now it's become an excuse not to do. You got to do. So wherever you are right now, do you have a mic?
Yes.
Okay. What DAW do you use?
I have the audio interface, the Focusrite.
Okay.
I just learned that I need the DBX286, from the other live stream that you did, so I'll invest in that. So, yeah,
let me just tell you, you don't absolutely need that.
So
you don't absolutely need the DBX286. You don't absolutely need it. And don't let that be an excuse to not start, because I don't have that piece of gear. It's a piece of gear that I think is very valuable, and that once you can get it and learn how to use it. I didn't have it when I started. I didn't have it.
Okay.
But I started. and this is what I'm talking about. These things and these little pieces of gear and all this and that, excuse me, these things become our reasons why we don't just do. Just do it. Do I make any sense at all?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I've already started recording my voice and working with the DAW. So I've initially used Audacity, but I'm also working with the Adobe Audition.
Okay.
So I kind of like that a little better, but that is kind of my shortcoming. I've never used that type of software before.
Yeah, it can be a little intimidating.
So I am learning. It is, but it's nothing that can't be done.
Exactly. It's. I think I said yesterday. People, they get scared. They see, Adobe Audition. Oh, what is this? I don't know how to use it. Well, as soon as you start, in about 2-3 weeks, you're going to know a lot more than you did on day one. And the more you use it, and all of us started at the same spot. Believe me, it's not like we opened it up and we knew what to do. It took a couple hours of YouTube videos, for me to really get into it. So. But it can be done. Man, I'm getting hot. I can feel my temperature rising. With that, I think my dome is shining too, because I'm sweating a little bit. My dome is shining because my temperature is going up. But oh well, we'll manage and we'll deal with it.
Oh no. Well, thank you so much, Earl. You have answered my questions. So I appreciate that.
You're more than welcome. You have a great. You're going to be on the webinar tonight, right?
I sure will be.
All righty then. Looking forward to it. See you then. You take care now. Thanks for calling in.
All right. See you. Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye. All right. If you'd like to get in on the live call-in, you can go ahead and do that. Live call-in number is right at the bottom of your screen, 657-383-1494. If you want to get into the call queue, go ahead and press number 1, and I will bring you in live. Let me jump over to Facebook, see what's happening over here. Robert D. Lee. That was something. Proverbs 11:14, where there is no counsel, the people fail, but in the multitude of counselors, there is safety. There it is. Thank you. Thank you for posting that. Justin Erard, go to get some emergency. I thought about that, and as soon as I get off of this live stream, I'm going up to the drugstore, and that was on my list to get, because I got a lot of work to do before the live stream. I still got crap to do. To make this just an amazing thing. Jess is saying having a goal list in front of you every day helps. Write, type it, hang it up, look at it every chance you get. That would be my advice for her. Awesome. All right. And let's go back over to YouTube here. I know I must sound horrible to you guys, and I completely apologize. But you can see, even through this, there's still that excitement. There's still that grind and don't quit, because I'm not going to let anything stop me. Now, the only thing I can't do today is voiceover. I cannot do a voiceover gig today. It's not going to happen. I can hear my nasalness. I can hear all of that. Okay. Sam. Excuse me. Okay. Let me go back over. See some of these. Tatum says, beautiful. Thank you. Timothy, beautiful family. Earl, thank you so much. Awesome, beautiful family. Lenny, thank you. Graham says, truly blessed man. Thank you. Sam is saying, Tatum and everything else, everyone else listening, nothing, and I mean nothing outside of death will stop this brother from moving forward. Crushing this upcoming webinar. Thank you. Hi, Earl, still standing. Adrian, glad to see you in the house. Graham, you got the faith. You got to have faith, because faith is an action word. Yes, that is so true. I remember when I first learned that. I remember I was about 22 years old and listening to a message from a former pastor of mine. And people are always talking about, I've got faith. I've got faith. You know, faith will prove it. I think it was Paul said, I'll prove my faith by my works. I'll prove my faith by my works. And it's like, you've got to have the works, which was what I'm talking about, the action. You've got to do this. You can't just think it, and faith is not pie in the sky. It's the action behind what you say you believe. It's an action. And if you take no action, there's no way that you will accomplish the goal. No way. Let's see. Alan, sup? The Emerald Isle just joining you all now. Thank you so much. Alan, Sam, you're absolutely welcome. I'm learning too, and if I can assist you, thank you. Thank you. Timothy, you could do a great Wisconsin accent today. Yeah. I don't even know what that is, quite frankly. I can do a Baltimore accent. You know, being raised in Maryland, you know, we don't say Baltimore, we say Baltimore or Baltimore. You know, it's Baltimore is not said if you're actually from there. All right, guys. I'm going to take one last call. Then I'm going to get up out of here, and I got to go get me some meds and some emergency and some all that kind of stuff and get ready to do this. But I will take one last call. If anyone wants to call in, you can do that. Number's right at the bottom of the screen, 657-331-1494 is the live call-in number. I'm definitely super excited about tonight. You guys probably saw the video. Well, you saw the video if you were on at the beginning of this. You saw the video that I actually posted about an hour ago. Talking about the webinar. Some of you have probably gotten some emails already with that. I sent out an email to everyone that's registered for the webinar, at least up until the point that I sent the email. There's been more people to register, which I'm completely blown away at the number of people that are registering for this thing, and completely humbled by it. There's a link in the email, also in this YouTube video. If you want to get the cheat sheet so you can take some notes, go ahead and print that out, download it. It's in the description, and you probably got an email. If you're registered for the webinar, you got the email. Unless you registered within the last hour, then you didn't get it. But I'll be sending out another email right before the webinar. You're going to get a couple emails from me today, just through the webinar system to make sure that you can log in and get ready to go. And, okay, doesn't look like anyone else is calling in. I'm going to check the comments one last time here. And, all right, guys, thanks so much for tuning in today. I'm going to see you guys tonight, 7 p.m. Central, or wherever you are in the world, whatever time zone you're in. Just confirm and make sure that you're there, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I guarantee you the energy that I'm going to have is going to be off the chain. Okay, Ben, hey, thanks for calling in, buddy. I see you calling in from the UK over there.
Yes. It's basically to expand on everything you've been saying. The multiple counselors is always good. I've had an issue this week where I completed a job for a company, and they were as picky as I've ever known anyone.
Yeah, it'll happen, buddy. I'm telling you.
It was nightmare. There was everything you could think of, down to the pronunciation of the word good.
Oh, wow. Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
You know, the voice, it lacked this. They wanted this. This needed change. It was just a nightmare. So much so, I took the read, passed it to a couple of other voiceover artists with decades of experience I know in the UK.
Yeah.
And both of them came back and said, try and get out of it. Drop it while it's hot.
That was the next thing I was going to say. It's like I have dropped clients. I was like, this isn't even worth the time. I've dropped $300, $400 jobs. It's like, nah.
Yeah, well, this would be conversion, just over a $300 job.
Mm-hmm.
But it's got to the point now where there's nothing else I can do.
Yeah, and don't short yourself by it. Don't feel bad about that. It happens to all of us. It really does. I mean, they'll rave about you before, and then all of a sudden you do a read, and they might come back. Oh, well, can you change this a little? And it might be an honest mistake you made, and I always correct my errors.
Oh yeah.
But it's like, well, can you say this word a little bit different? And I'm like, well, what do you mean? And so what I do, and this is just a little tip, what I do with clients that may be a little picky, I'll have them pronounce something the way they want it to sound. Can you pronounce that for me and send that into an audio file to me? And I will pronounce it exactly the way that you pronounce it in that audio file. That way, I'm putting it back on them. They've got to do some work, and they've got to get it to me if they want me to do the voiceover. Now, there are going to be some, for whatever reason, and you really don't even know the reason. And that's one of the things I figured out too. Sometimes they tell you to do things over and over again because they don't want to use you. They want to frustrate the hell out of you. They want to just get you to go away. And you don't even know why. But they won't tell you. In this thing in voiceover and acting and everything else, you never really know the truth about why someone hires you or not. But if it's become frustration instead of joy, I don't need it.
No, this job has become more hassle than it's worth.
And there'll be plenty of other jobs, believe me, dude. There'll be plenty of other jobs.
Oh, I believe that. But the other thing was, something yesterday you were talking about how your father has been an inspiration to you.
Yeah.
Through your life and your career.
Yeah.
Something you said today about not finding excuses not to start.
Mm-hmm.
I remember from being very young, something my father instilled in me, which was the 4 stages of competency.
Okay.
So basically, everyone has the ability to be competent at something if they follow through the 4 stages. Now, the first stage being unconsciously incompetent.
Okay.
They can't do it. But because they've never tried, they're unaware they can't do it.
Right.
Consciously incompetent. You can't do it, but you're aware you can't do it.
Okay.
You've tried. And they pass through there, through practice and time, to the latter 2 stages. Consciously competent, you can do it, but you've got to think of how.
Mm-hmm.
And probably the stage you are now with a lot of things to do with voiceover, unconsciously competent. You can do it, and you very rarely need to think about what you're doing.
Yeah.
Mastering the voice, probably a good example. You could now probably do a voiceover, sit at a computer, without thinking, know exactly what to apply.
Yeah, a lot of times that does happen. A lot of times, and that comes with the doing.
Time, practice,
They say about 11,000 hours of anything, you're a master.
Yes.
And I've done
but then again,
11,000.
I would say it's one of the things you're constantly learning, but until you know, you never start the process.
Yeah.
You remain unconsciously incompetent. But that was, I'd say, for me, something my father instilled in me.
Awesome.
That I thought I'd put out there.
Man, thanks so much. I appreciate that, and I appreciate the call. You're going to be on the webinar tonight, right? Live?
Oh, yes. Yeah, okay. Live, very early.
Okay. Because I got the goodies for the live folks. I've got the goodies for the folks that come on live. In the email I sent out, and also in the description of this YouTube video, whatever, you'll see some of the stuff that's in there as well. But thanks for calling in, buddy. I'm looking forward to having you on the webinar tonight, and thanks for sharing that story with us, too.
as I say, 1 a.m., and I'll be there.
All right, man. Well, thanks. I love that dedication with you, bro.
Thanks, Off.
Take care. Bye-bye now.
See you, buddy. Bye-bye.
All right, guys, let's see. We're about to wrap this up. Tatum is saying, grind it, don't quit, everybody. Nicole, first time being here. I'm loving this webinar. This is, Nicole, thanks, but this isn't the webinar. This isn't the webinar. This is my Monday through Friday live call-in show that I do Monday through Friday. The webinar, if you want to register for the webinar tonight at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, go to vowebinarnow.com. vowebinarnow.com. If you're not registered, register. Because you can't get in if you don't register. So go there now, vowebinarnow.com. There's also a link in the description for the YouTube video with that as well. And actually, let me just post that in the comments. www.vowebinarnow.com. All right, it's in the comments over on YouTube. So go register. Thomas, I will see you tonight. Adrian, glad to know we can be transparent to speak our minds when some VO jobs can sometimes really suck. Yeah, it's your business. It's your business. You're a professional. Treat others like they're pros and don't accept them not treating you like you're not one. One of the courses that I have to make is how to stop being a commodity. All right, guys. Thanks so much for tuning into the show today. I'm going to go take me some meds, get some of this work done. I will see you guys tonight, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, live on the webinar. You guys have an awesome and amazing day. I'm telling you, I'm going to get through this. I'm going to get through this thing. All right, guys. Thanks for calling in. And, oh, we got one more caller. You know what? For the first time, I will turn off my exit music and I will take this call. All right. Last four numbers, 7345. You are live on In the Booth with Earl Hall. Who do I have with me here? But they're not there. Hello, you're live on the air. 7345 is the last four in your number. You're live on the air. Okay, they weren't there. All right, guys. See you guys tonight, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Looking forward to it. If you can share out the link, we definitely appreciate that. Share out this show. Tell everybody you can about the webinar tonight, and let's make this thing rock. I'm going to be there with bells on, no matter what. All right, take care. Blessings to you.